Welcome back to another Bourbon Bums review presented by Greene Valley Wine and Spirits, 344 Commons Drive in Bolingbrook, Illinois. I'm Bologna. I'm back in my basement, and I've got something. I want to start off the show apologizing. I'm going to apologize for the clickbait thumbnail and title to this video because I was worried if I just posted the bottle and posted the description, you might not watch. So I'm going to string you along for just a second, but believe me, it's something interesting. That's something that perked my interest, and it's something different from most of the other bottles we've been reviewing of late. So what I have for you guys is a 15-year-old barrel-proof offering, and it's 39.8 alcohol by volume, which means it is less than 80 proof, which means it's not necessarily a whiskey. Can't be named a whiskey, can't be named a barrel. What I have for you is a spirit distilled from grain. It is Cascade Moon. If you guys if you're in the know, Cascade Moon comes from Cascade Hollow. If you guys know Cascade Hollow, it's a George Dickel product. So I was worried if I just post a George Dickel video, maybe people don't want to watch that. I always tell people George Dickel whiskey is almost like the Nickelback of whiskey. It's got its fans, huge following. A lot of people like it, but a lot of people turn their nose at it, and maybe not necessarily rightfully so. I specifically don't necessarily like George Dickel whiskey on its own, but I think a lot of companies like Barrel, Craft Spirits, Bardstown Bourbon Company, and a lot of other ones source from there. One, because they could get aged whiskey, but also if you blend it right, it could be awesome. So this is their own product, aged 15 years, barrel proof, cannot be called a whiskey. It's a spirit distilled from grain. This elegant spirit was distilled from a mash of corn, rye, and malt, and placed in new charred American oak barrels to age in our single-story warehouses. As a result of the curious conditions experienced by these barrels during the aging process, the proof dropped below the minimum standard to be called whiskey. The result is a complex and sophisticated spirit with a light and easy drinking character without being watered down. So, barrel proof, under 80 proof. I thought to myself, whoa, there's a chance there where there's a ton of flavor, and it's not going to be as harsh as other, high proof barrel proof offerings. So that piqued my interest. The other thing that was interesting, at least to me, I had seen these bottles at our local Binny's Beverage Depot, which is the big box liquor stores in the Chicagoland area, for a couple years now at $155, $160. And I thought, whoa, that's a lot of money. Not necessarily interested in that. But then I saw it on the clearance rack this June, which is when I bought it, for $40. So I bought this for $40, and it's a 15-year-old barrel-proof whiskey, although we can't call it whiskey. So that piqued my interest. So what I'm going to do for you, I'll pop it here. I've had this since June. I haven't really had all that much of it, so spoiler alert, that's probably going to tell you what I really think of it. But let's get some into the glass. And the first thing that you could notice, so this is what I say, 38.8 alcohol by volume, under 80 proof. For it being a 15-year-old, whiskey, quote unquote, it's light. It's not as dark as I would have thought. But let's see how it knows. So it's got legs. It's got legs for a 15-year-old Dickel product. Off the rip, banana pudding is what I got. Banana pudding, vanilla, and then like some oak influence to that. There's like wet wood. It smells like banana pudding and a little bit of wet wood. Some vanilla thrown in there. When I say wet wood, I don't necessarily mean that as a bad thing either. It's just like a little bit of like a damp wood, like you're standing out in your deck after a rainfall. The nose, not bad at all. All right, before I get to the tasting, let me play you an ad from our sponsor.
Greene Valley Wine and Spirits in Bolingbrook is the best liquor store in the southwest suburbs. Come see their newly expanded and remodeled location for all your liquor needs. They have a great craft beer selection an ever-expanding portfolio of tequilas and bourbon, and a new wine rack showcasing the best wines around. And while you're there, stop by their newly added tasting bar to try all the Bourbon Bum store picks before you buy. That's Greene Valley Wine and Spirits, 344 Commons Drive at the corner of Route 53 and I-55 in Bolingbrook. And tell them the Bum sent you.
All right, salute. All right, so off the rip, I get pear. Shout out Rick Ross, shout out pears. So pears, vanilla, and then a bunch of like tobacco, leather, and oak from the 15-year product that it is. But so it's almost like a Jekyll and Hyde. The beginning is really light, like super light. Pears and vanilla, like a nice like summer drink. And then at the end, the leather oak tobacco kind of aspect to it, but then it's there and gone because it's less than 80 proof. The problem is, and this is where a lot of people have problems with the George Dickel brand, the finish, and it's lingering. It's super drying, obviously, because it's an aged or like older whiskey or not whiskey. But people always complain about the Flintstones chewable vitamins aspect to Dickel. While I don't necessarily get that specific note, I think that's overblown by the general public. There is a lot of minerality. I think a lot of it has to do with like, I don't know if it's like copper or iron, or there's just something like metally to it, which I do not like. Yeah, it's almost like you stuck down, or like you're, I want to say, chewing on a nickel or a penny or something. And that lingers forever on this product. Without that, I thought this would be awesome. I mean, I said it before, I bought it for $40 for a 15-year-old product. That would be awesome. If I bought this at $155, I know there's a couple people on YouTube that reviewed this bottle at the MSRP. That's a shame. That's tough, man. I don't think it's worth anywhere near $155. I'm happy I got it at 40 because it's something different. But that finish is so bad that it kind of like ruins all of the good things that could have been with this product. So the bottle itself is awesome. It's kind of different. It's a square shaped bottle. The artwork here, it says mellow as moonlight. There is mellow aspects to it. Like I said, it's easy sipper being under 80 proof. The pear and vanilla I really liked in the beginning, but even now I only had one sip and I still get that like that metal aspect to that finish. See, the beginning is good, and then it just kicks you in the nuts with something that's terrible. Overall grade for if it's $155, it's a straight up F. No, thank you. Pass. For $40 on the clearance rack, I could see where it's like, that wasn't as bad, but it's still not great. $40 C minus. B plus, C minus, D plus. Yeah, I can't give it a C minus. I've given better whiskey C minuses, so I'm gonna go D plus on the grade for that. But yeah, that's something different for you guys. We've been doing some crazy bottles of late, and we're gonna do our 12 days of whiskey with some more, highly allocated stuff. So I just wanted to do something different for today. That is Cascade Moon, aged 15-year barrel proof non-whiskey, but kind of whiskey, from the George Dickel Distillery. Thank you guys for watching. I'll be back this week with another Bourbon Bums review. And then, like I mentioned, we have our 12 days of whiskey that we're excited to do. So stay tuned for that. Thank you to Greene Valley Wine and Spirits. And thank you to everyone watching. I should mention, if you guys are interested in trying this, maybe a couple people in the comments leave, something, maybe a thumbs up in the description. Maybe I'll be able to send a couple 2-3 samples, because it is different. It's something strange almost, but it would be ashamed if you bought it for $155. And like I said, I haven't been making a dent into it. I'd rather share it with people just to, say you tried something different. So like, subscribe, share, leave a message, DM us on Instagram or Twitter, and we'll get back to you on that. But for now, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time for another Bourbon Bums review. Cheers.